Welcome to Living the Dream podcast. I'm your host, Beto Duran. And you're thinking, man, Beto, I'm tired of you, bro. You tell me you're going to start it. You keep me consistent, and then all of a sudden you're gone in the month of February. Thanks to everybody that continues to rock with me, continues to roll with me, continue to ride and enjoy the Living the Dream. So if you know anything about me, you know that I'm busy again. During the pandemic, we weren't. And I'm looking at my issues of what I've done. The last episode with Serena Morales from the Rams, fantastic. Before that, Julio Cortez, AP photographer, fantastic. Go and check that out. Really do appreciate you guys. So what I wanted to do today is March 1st. And wanted to catch up with you guys, let you know what's going on. There's a lot of things that are in the air, that are processing and moving. And I did something yesterday that I normally don't do on TV. And it struck with me a little bit. And I'll get into that and as we talk about it. So it's going to be a quick podcast today. Just want to say thank you to everybody who continues to support and send me messages like, man, Beto, where you at? Where you at? Big reason I'm doing this is a good friend, Ruben Polanco, last week sent me a picture of him listening to Serena Morales' podcast again. He's like, well, because you didn't do it on Monday, here I am repeating episodes. So I will tell you this. I have the next 3 episodes already lined up. The guests are ready to go. I have the dates with them. And we're going to be good through the month of March. Once again, living the dream every single Monday for you on iTunes, Spotify, rate, review, and all that other good stuff. Also available on YouTube now as you're watching me here. This one is actually live. So if you're listening just to the iTunes version or the audio version, you'll hear me interact with people on this. Maybe I'll take some questions later on. Don't know what's going on. Maybe whatever. All right. So here's what's going on with me. During this COVID, during this pandemic, the sports world stopped. And I had to stop because everybody else was stopping. But instead of trying to figure out and say, woe is me, what are we doing here? I said, let's continue to evolve and let's continue to do things and let's continue to figure out how we can stay in this crazy ass business. So if you're watching on YouTube, I taught myself how to do this live show. As my mom is talking to me right now. Okay, no me vengo esta noche. Bye. And yeah, this is the garage setup. There's a car right here. So I taught myself how to use this program where I can edit and do all kinds of other cool things. That led by me continuing to do this. And let me just back it all up. So when the pandemic hit, I'm a freelancer. I am Mr. 1099. I work for a lot of different people. I don't have a full-time job anywhere. So I'm a hired gun. If I work that day, I get paid. If I don't work, I don't get paid. So when sports stopped, I stopped. Paycheck stopped. Money stopped. Everything stopped. So that's what I did. I was like, okay. Remember everybody was going on Instagram lives and that's what they were doing? So I taught myself how to do the YouTube and I was like, let me figure this out. By me going and learning how to edit and taught myself this video program, I started doing that show on boxing called Thursdays. We do it every single Thursday night. And imagine if you're just talking with your uncles about boxing. We do it live. We interact with them. So if you're a boxing fan, that's great. That caught the eye of some people in the business. And they asked me, how are you doing this show? And I said, well, I'm in my garage. I taught myself how to edit, taught myself how to create my own show instead of just doing it via Zoom. And they said, interesting, we'll get back to you. One thing led to another. People are like, so you can do a show from your garage by yourself with no crew? I said, yes. Cool, Beto. We'll keep that in the back of our head. Keep that in the back of our mind. Well, that led to doing a couple shows on DAZN. DAZN is an app. They're doing a lot of boxing. And behind me is this screen. So if you go on the DAZN boxing app, you'll see that there's a couple shows that they have. It's called Always Canelo. And they also have Always Ryan, where I record everything here in the garage and I send it back to the editors and then they put it all together and it looks fantastic. But it's done here. And the whole point of what I'm trying to say is if I hadn't kept going, if I hadn't kept at it, if I hadn't taught myself how to do stuff, that never would have led me to do the DAZN features on Always Canelo and Always Ryan Garcia, which gets huge numbers on their social media platforms. Also, it's available on the app. You can check it out. And it's pretty interesting how it all worked out. During the pandemic, we all have that woe is me attitude of like, oh, well, this ain't going to turn around. What's going on? And I had the attitude of, yeah, this sucks. But if this is where my career ends and I just go be a teacher or do whatever it is I'm going to do, it's been a good ride. But before it ends, I want to end it on my terms instead of just being shown the way. I never want it to pass me by. So I'm going to go kicking and screaming, and that's exactly what I did. When kicking and screaming, taught myself, continued to evolve, kept fighting, and here we are. And now, as we're starting to turn with people getting their vaccine and the world seems like it's slowly going back to its normal rates eventually, you can see that what I was doing is paying off. And part of the reason why I didn't do stuff during February is because I was trying to find different avenues of what's going on. I got a chance last week to call a college basketball play-by-play game. Something I've been wanting to do for a while, something I've been told no for a long time. Just because networks have their own people and they use it, and somehow, some way, chips fell in my favor, and I got a call saying, hey, are you available to work this game? I said, yes, I am. So last Thursday, I called Arizona, Washington State on Fox Sports 1. Pretty awesome. I've called college basketball before for WCC. That's University of San Diego, Gonzaga, Pepperdine, LMU. I've done those games. But to call a Pac-12 game is awesome. To call it on Fox Sports 1, really cool. And they always send out game notes to everybody. And on the notes, it says like Arizona, Washington State, time, place, and it says announcers, and it had my name right there. So Beto Duran. It's like, damn, this is pretty cool. An opportunity because somebody else wasn't available, and I took it and I ran with it. I did solid. I gave myself like a 7 on it. My lawyer, Curtis Gold, said I was better than that, but you're going to be your own worst critic. And did I mess up some Eastern European names a couple of times? Yeah. But it's a rush calling anything, doing play-by-play for it. And I started boxing, and it was on Fox Sports 1. So it's now come full circle where I'm doing college basketball. And it was pretty cool / surreal to be in the arena at the University of Arizona, and nobody else is in there except for us and the players. Looked around and looked up. I'm like, wow, this is where some big-time people have come out of. These are the games that I watch, on CBS on Sundays or Saturdays, on the weekends, March Madness. And I got an opportunity to do that. And I don't know if it's true, but I'm pretty sure it is, that I was the first ever Latino to call a play-by-play game in the Pac-12. Definitely on Fox Sports 1. And it's not something I take lightly. And I got some nice messages from people telling me, hey, keep doing it, keep at it. My friend Alex Del Barrio, who works for CBS Sports Network out of Texas, exchanged messages with him and got a lot of great feedback from people whose opinions I really do respect. And that was cool. And so, I've worked a lot of fights. I've worked a lot of events, but that was one of those where I always tell myself, I want to work a college basketball game. I want to work Pac-12. And I got the opportunity to do it. And the rejection of telling me, no, you can't do it, for years of like, oh, we like you, but we don't have a spot for you. Keep at it. Keep at it. Keep at it. Doing it. And did it. Hopefully there's more to come next year. The season's over, but it was pretty awesome to do. And the other good news is that CBS 2 here in Los Angeles, where I work on Sundays, Sports Central alongside Jim Hill, it was supposed to be just during the football season. And I knew that. Because after the AFC game, go straight to us. Boom, I'm there. Perfect. So the last game of the year was the Super Bowl. And I'm walking out the building, and I'm like, all right, guys. I tell the producers, bosses, thanks a lot for the opportunity. Hopefully, we'll see each other next year. See you down the road. And they're like, well, aren't you coming back next week? I'm like, nah, football's done. Like, why am I coming back? And they're like, well, because the show's extended. Like, what extended? Where? For what? Like, we're keeping Sports Central on CBS2 the rest of the year through 2021. Are you going to be part of the show? I'm like, yeah, of course I want to be part of it. That's awesome. So that's the good news for me, is that'll be every Sunday, usually around 3 o'clock, either after golf or college basketball. I'll be doing that, and alongside Jim Hill. And it's pretty awesome to be part of that show. I'm not full-time. I'm only going to work Sundays, but it's great just to be there and be part of it, which leads me to what I want to talk about. So yesterday on that show, there was a great feature done about a young lady who lives in downtown Los Angeles. Soccer player. I think she's in high school. And she said something about how daughter of immigrants playing soccer, you want to have big goals to go to college, maybe be a pro and stuff like that. And then Jim turned to me and he said, wow, it's pretty cool to see how this young lady thinks like that. And normally on this show, I don't give opinions. I just give, I react to facts. I react to the show, what's going on, and go with it, and my thoughts. Basic thoughts about sports. I don't give personal opinions. I don't give political opinions. I don't give anything like that. It's sports. It's a Sunday. You're just watching it. But this one resonated with me. And I answered him and I said, well, when your parents are immigrants, like mine are, and this young lady's are, you don't have a safety net. We're not allowed to make excuses. We can't make excuses. And I don't know where I sounded like Escalante and Stand Deliver, and I said, all you need is ganas, right? It wasn't planned. I didn't know Jim was going to ask me that question, because the plan was, as soon as the segment is done where the girls getting interviewed, Jim is supposed to throw it to commercial. But he turned and asked me this. And I just gave my immediate, unfiltered reaction. And said, you have to be able to just come out there and provide and go after it. And if you want to see the full clip, it's on my Instagram at Beto Vision. And that right there resonated with a lot of people. And I put it up on my Instagram, and the comments there were just, people saying, hey, that's the same thing I heard in my house. Like, when you are a son of immigrants, first generation, they don't know what you're doing. Like, my mom just came in right now. She doesn't even know I'm talking to you guys and I'm live, right? They don't know. They just want you to be a good member of society. And they're going to be proud of you, but you can't make excuses. Nobody wants to hear that. And that really struck a chord with some people, and I was happy about that. I was happy to be able to say that, because in Los Angeles, in the media aspect, on the English side, there aren't anybody doing sports. It's myself and Mario Solis at Channel 4. And I've never been one to think about, oh, I'm going to be the Mexican this or Mexican that. I just want to be known for doing my job and doing it well. That's it. But as I've gotten older, now in 2021, I realized that there's young kids looking up and saying, hey, I want to be like him. Because when I was growing up, there wasn't anybody like me on TV. And that's part of the reason why I continue to keep going with the podcast. This is part of the reason why I continue to just do it. Everybody says they want to have that dream job, but how many people are willing to put in the work for that dream job? I've always say it. I don't have the best voice. I am not the most talented, but damn it, you're not going to outwork me. You're not going to out-network me. I'm going to find a way to get in because I know what I want to do, and I'm going to keep after it. Being told no for years about college basketball, never took it personal. I said, okay, cool. Let me continue to get better. Eventually, one day, you're going to be there. Working boxing, whatever it is that I'm doing, never take it personal when somebody says you can't do this. find a way to make it happen. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today with the podcast, and just let you guys know what's going on. So there's a lot of stuff going on with me. And I'm actually looking at your comments right now. All right, think. And I'll get to you guys pretty soon. But yeah, I just want to say thank you guys for the support and what's going on. But here's what I do got going on. All right, so I need you guys to do some favor for me. Go rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff on my iTunes for Living the Dream. And then if you're a boxing fan, Thursday, it's Thursdays with Joel Diaz and Roberto Diaz, the matchmaker and the trainer. We have a great time. We talk boxing. We have all kinds of cool stuff. It's not breaking down the fights. It's just telling you plática. Also, there's a baseball podcast coming for you because baseball season is around the corner. The Let's Go Ricky Roll podcast with my friend Ricky Romero, who went to Cal State Fullerton, played for the Blue Jays. He is retired, so we're going to do the podcast. We've been doing it for a couple of years, but we stop. But now baseball season is here, so we're going to get after it. We're actually going to record one on Wednesday. So that's 3 podcasts that I got going on. Do I make money off of them? Nope. Do I lose time doing it? Yep. That's why if we have a chance to go play golf and it's a beautiful course and it's the right price, I'm going to go play golf instead of the podcast. I'm being completely honest and transparent. But it's also what we want to do. So the baseball podcast is there. So you're going to have the Beto Visión Living the Dream. The baseball one is going to be on Wednesdays. And then the Thursday is going to be Thursday. So there's plenty of there for you. And then on Sundays, you get me on CBS 2 at 3 o'clock. So Sports Central. And if you're on Twitter, follow Sports Central LA. And that's where you'll see me. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So pandemic hit, we go all the way down. Keep on fighting, keep on chugging, keep on throwing them elbows, find a way to get things done. Don't ever get discouraged, even though it's easy to get discouraged. It sucks really bad when you're trying to figure out how you're going to pay for something. But then next thing you know, that churning and believing in yourself leads to me doing college basketball, doing 3 podcasts, doing TV, and a bunch of other stuff. So that's it. That's all I got for you. That's the life update for you guys right now. Let me see here. Letty Ariola, we're blessed to have the drive by our parents. What's up, Letty? Appreciate you. Let's see, who else is over here? Jesus M. We think you're good. I appreciate you thinking I'm good. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I forgot. I have my own beer. I don't have it in the garage. But yeah, go to Craft Beer Kings, who sponsor the podcast. They hook me up. Every guest gets beer. Craft Beer Kings, go to their app or their Instagram, and you can order my beer. It's called Mike Drop. It's an horchata IPA, and it's going to be selling out in the next 2 weeks, I think, because that's how many beers they got left. Or you can go to Arrow Lodge in Covina. So that's it. So I got my own beer. I got a show. I got a podcast. We got all kinds of stuff going on for you guys right now. Let's see. Jesus M. I missed the little boxing shows you do on Ring TV. Oh, well, we haven't been able to do those because COVID. We're not allowed inside the studios. So that's why we can't do those. There it is. Marco Favela. Man, Marco, I know you. You're a good dude, man. You're part of the reason why I keep on doing this, Marco, because you're a young man in Las Vegas. I remember you started your own podcast, you said, because of me. All right. If you have any questions, go for it. If you're on the live, the 4 people that are watching this, we appreciate you guys. But everybody else, go and check out. So Ruben Polanco, there it is. There's your podcast for Monday. It's available for you. 20 minutes update on what Beto is doing. What more do you need? That's it, right? We're done. All right. Let's see here. And all right. So thanks to everybody who's been watching and listening. If you guys have a chance, I'm going to give you some podcast recommendations. The Yo 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 podcast with Martin and Hooter. Hilarious father-son duo. They're my guys. Go and check them out. Also, George Perez, a comedian. His stuff is intense. If you want to hear about some intense stuff, go after that. Listen to him. That's always pretty cool. So I've been a guest on his. And if you want something different, there's a friend of mine, Aaron Bender, former news guy. He just started his called Aaron Bender Podcast, ARON. And Aaron kind of disappeared for a little bit. I just found this out listening to his podcast the other day, that his wife died of cancer 3 months ago. And so he's using his podcast as a way to deal with his grief. And she left behind 2 young little girl, is real pretty, and I think 5 and 8, if I'm not mistaken. So he has a couple of podcasts out right now. If you just want to hear like somebody who's like, hey, I'm reintroducing myself back to the world, but I'm gonna keep on fighting and keep on going after it. So Aaron Bender, yo, and George Perez story. Do I keep in touch with Steve Kim? Yeah, Steve Kim. I saw him at the last Thompson show, which was like last week or something like that. All right, so thank you guys so much for everybody who participated, watched, looked, whatever. Go back and listen to past episodes of what's going on. If you haven't heard, photographer Julio Cortez from the AP, awesome. That's episode 164. And also Eric Rivera, episode 163. And Serena Morales with the Rams is awesome. Coming up, here's the guest I got so far. Max Bertels, who calls LAFC games. He's going to do it. Gustavo Arellano is going to come back soon. I think within the next 2 weeks. And then who's the other person I booked? Hey, I forgot the person I booked. I'm looking at my notes right now. I don't know. I forgot. I don't know. All right, but for sure, Max Bertels, Gustavo Arellano will have that podcast for you guys right there. So the rest of March is booked. We have people ready to go. Other than that, though, I'll talk to you guys later. We'll see you so much. And my hair, I don't care. It doesn't matter. I'm 42 and I still got hair. That's all that matters. We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for listening to Living the Dream.